love, it's your lady girl from Runaway. We have culture, conversation, and community. And in today's video, I'm coming to you all with some commentary, some very quick commentary, okay? I don't know if y'all know or not, but Dr. Umar and Kevin Samules are having this alleged beef, y'all. And I just thought I'd just come over and get my cute, quick 2 cents. If you follow me on social media, you know that I have posted some memes about Dr. Umar, girl. He just tickles me. The prince of Pan-Africanism. The prince of peddling for donations, y'all. And I'm saying that only being cute because that's what's already out there, right? I'm going to start this off by being, one, I want to let y'all know that I'm respectful of anybody trying to do anything for our community. Boom. So with that being said, let's get right into the video. If you don't know who Kevin Samules is, that's absolutely fine. You're not missing out on much. He is pretty much like a blogger, commentator, man spectator, woman hater. I don't know what he is exactly or where he came from, but apparently he just went viral after he said something along the lines of "Sweetie is only a 6" on the Joe Budden podcast, which we know Joe Budden is trash, girl. He been trash. Cisgendered heterosexual men are the worst. Like, they are literally the death of us sometimes. But you know, that's not news. The news is that Kevin Samules goes on to the show. I don't know if he has a podcast of his own, girl. I would do some research to give it to y'all for real, but I'm really just not that interested. He came onto my radar a couple weeks ago, and I made it a point not to discuss it because I heard it. I was like, oh no, you know what I'm saying? It was like, you know, bringing something up beside me, but I'm like, I'm not even about to do it over here because we got enough going on, right? So apparently he was going to show, and you know, these black women call in to get judged and a consultation of some sorts, where he's just pretty much berating them. Oh, you're 220 pounds, you're the size of a linebacker, you're fat, men stop fucking fat women, like the fat phobia, the anti-blackness, the misogyny, it's just a lot, okay, y'all. It's just so much. The women who are subscribed here, if you do know him, you know him through a negative light, okay, which is safe to say. Dr. Umar admittedly has had some issues with some LGBTQ comments in the past, y'all. He has, and I think we're all well aware, and I think it's either you love him or hate him. I can't ever have hate in my heart for Dr. Umar because he goes up for black people, period. And that's just where I'm at. You know, I love black people. I love them down, girl. So apparently a caller was coming in and they were just saying, why don't you talk to us like Dr. Umar? In which case, you know, when he talks to black women, he talks about us as queens, you know, goddesses, the Mother Earth, the things we deserve. And he was just like, oh, you know, I'm not worried about him. And he goes to this whole tirade. I'm going to play it.
And who has 2 children by 2 different women that he never married. Dr. Umar Johnson, the guy that for the last 10 years has not built brick one of a school he's collected money from. Dr. Umar, hold on, ma'am. Dr. Umar Johnson, the man who calls you queen, mother, goddess, and all this other kind of stuff. And again, for those who are keeping score, this is another woman who comes on and says, talk to us more like Umar. The Prince of Pan-African. Big Papa's in the house. Run my donations. I mean, shout out to Umar. I ain't got no problem with the dude, but I think it's funny y'all keep coming over here asking everybody to talk like Umar. Queen Mother Garland, Cocoa Butter, and sea moss gold and shit.
So as you can see, he clearly watches Dr. Umar because the mannerisms, the Prince of Pan-Africanism, he knows exactly who he is, okay? How are you able to really just do a voiceover, and not even a voiceover, girl, like, you know, impersonation? How can you impersonate him like that and you act like, oh yeah, you know, no love lost and all this and all that? Now, another thing about Dr. Umar, he has been trying to build the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey School for a minute. Okay, a minute. Not to mention, there has been other, and not even to compare, but there has been other black men. It's a brother by the name of King. He was on Ronald Martin's show for some reason or another, that coon. And they ended up, you know, trying to berate him as a young girl. He's a young black man. He like 23, 24, 25. And he has like this whole situation and a whole foundation for his children up in like a couple of years. You know what I mean? He's a veteran and these, you know, all of these things. I'm going to maybe insert a clip somewhere so y'all.
Baby's age, but the chat, and also hit the thumbs up button as we get started. So this brother today that I have the honor of speaking with is 21 years old. And, when you get to my stage, that's almost like a baby's age, but he's not a baby. He's a grown ass man. His name is King Randall. And King Randall, I want to say, welcome, brother. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing excellent, sir. How are you?
Doing very well, man. I'm glad
to understand the context. And I'm going to leave his links down in the description. Kevin Samules, and so Twitter is running with it. The verses that we really want, okay? The battle of the words and all this and all that. But here's the thing. You have one man who berates black women and, says things like, values, objectify them and place has like the black woman as a placeholder for lighter skinned women and all this because, and I recall in the interview, he said that Pam Grier's an 8, Diane Carroll is a 9, and Dorothy Dandridge would be a 10. So that's a standard, y'all. I'll show some clips so y'all can understand what's going on here. So it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much, black women. Black men, don't lose sight of what's going on, y'all. This little fighter around the house. Ladies, do not internalize this. If you see something that's popping up in your feed, mute it. Go on Instagram and click the option of do show less like this. Not interested. Do not let these men, in their evil ways, okay, sink into our mental spaces. That's why I didn't even want to cover it earlier, okay? So, y'all, it's just a hot mess. I know Dr. Umar's a hot mess too, but at least he putting something up on the board for black people, period. And not to mention how my camera was crooked like that, but not to mention the fact that nobody is outraged by the things that he says about black women. Now, they call him a straight shooter. Okay, I've listened to some of the things. There are some points that he makes about black women and feminism. If you are going to demean women in that way under the guise of, giving feedback to improve, it just doesn't sit well with me. And you can tell, like, these women are embarrassed. You get what I'm saying? You're not doing anything to uplift. And then on top of that, you need to be responsible. If you want to talk about black women and feminism, then you need to talk about the social, economic, political issues that as black women face. Okay, a lot of black women can't be out here and be feminine when they're the head of the household. Okay, you get what I'm saying? And this just isn't by happenstance and coincidence. Oh, when it's 2021, girl, please. Girl, please. The same systems that oppressed us hundreds of years ago are still in place. So it ain't over. We might be able to do a little bit more, have a little bit more accesses, have a little bit more freedoms and leisures. Okay, but let's make no mistake about it. The average woman has to work. Has to. Even if she has a partner, she has to work. You get what I'm saying? Now, not to say that you can walk around here like whatever, in terms of men, because we all know that men are visual creatures and visual beings. We get that. I got that. I've done the readings. I've done the work. I understand. But at the very same time, you're not about to sit up here and tell me, oh, I'm 220 pounds and I'm 5'8" and I'm the size of a linebacker. You get what I'm saying? Because you're saying what? Fat women can't be feminine? Since when? Who said that? You know what I'm saying? So this is a man who has completely assimilated himself into this perverted systems that we have in this country. And black women, we specifically need to avoid those type of men. Even if you hear a little twang, but he's funny. Even if it's a little bit, that's enough to remove yourself from that situation completely, sis. It's enough. You're not OD. You're not being extra. Remove yourself from being tied to a man like that at all. Now, Dr. Umar, on the other hand, he got his ways, okay? He's coming with all the shit. I know it. We know. But one thing about it, he's putting on for black women. He's the only one that came out and said something. When Kevin Samules was on the Joe Budden podcast, it was laughing, tweeting, and shits and giggles. But now it's like, nobody has said anything outside of Dr. Umar. And I think that speaks to something. You know what I mean? And then not to mention, do y'all remember when that white guy, Bill Burr, went on to Saturday Night Live and he talked about white women? You know what I'm saying? He didn't even talk about them. He was just saying pretty much that they were complicit in this oppression, in the system, and talked about their role. There was an outrage. There was an uproar. And he said it in a joking way. You know what I mean? He was joking. It was truthful, but it was a joke. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all let this man prance around here with his all of his tendencies. Let's get into it because we know we see some tendencies. Not to mention, he was on the ban. You feel what I'm saying? He gives me very much rejected in high school, okay, rejected in college, came into a little bit of money or whatever he came into, and now he's, dogging the women who rejected him, period. So, black women, protect your mental space, protect your peace at all costs. I'm only rocking with who's riding with me, period. I love us for real. Y'all know that. Subscribe, like the video. I'd really appreciate it. Let me know what y'all think. I'm interested to know. I know Dr. Umar's off the hook. I know he be peddling for donations. I know that school is not usable right now. So, but in comparison to who's bringing what, Kevin is only degrading black women. Okay? If and when Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey School is up, it's something to offer. It'll be huge. I want my kid to go to a black ran school. You know what I'm saying? So, celebrate those who celebrate you. Simple like that. A man like that, somewhere else. Anyways, I'm not gonna make this video super long because as you can see, it was just a real quick bop. But anyways, let me know what y'all think in the comment section. As always, I'm sending you much love and much light, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.